Welcome to Ask Me. I'm your host, Tolulokpe Ajibola. And on our episode today, we have a very interesting topic. Can a Christian be depressed? Depression is a mental condition that happens all over the world amongst millions of people. And it's a persistent mood of sadness, loss of interest in activities that you once, liked. It can cause guilty conscience and physical symptoms like loss of appetite, sleep patterns, and it can affect your daily living. So today we're going to explore, can a Christian also be depressed? And if they can be depressed, how can they overcome or cope with this depression? These are some of the questions we're going to answer today. And today with me in the studio on this episode is my
God,
my gâteau au chocolat, my friend and my pastor, Pastor Gbenga Ajibola of Eden Life Experience Center.
Thank you,
everyone.
For
coming.
Thank you. That's my beautiful wife. She's a certified psychologist and a therapist. So she does a lot of therapy on me at home. Amen. All right. So that's a very powerful question. Can a Christian be depressed?
Yeah.
I think the first question should even be, can a pastor be depressed?
Right.
Can a pastor be depressed?
Right.
Can a spiritual man, my God, can a spiritual man be depressed? And the truth is, yes, a Christian can be depressed. It's an emphatic yes, because whichever way, a Christian is also a human being, a relational being that has emotions. And the foundation of depression usually stems up from the emotions. So can a Christian be depressed? Yes, because a Christian also has emotions. A Christian also have expectations and all those things. So I agree with you that a Christian can be depressed, yes.
Okay, so how can you, because when we talk about depression, it doesn't happen like immediately.
Yes.
So it starts from being sad. So when someone is sad does not necessarily mean that you're depressed,
Yes.
but sadness can grow into depression.
Yes, when the devil take hold of the sadness,
yes,
you understand, or when the sadness is now prolonged. So being sad is not a bad thing, just like being angry is not a bad thing. But when it becomes too prolonged, you understand, when it becomes longer than necessary, then the devil can take advantage of that, and even your emotions can quickly move from sadness and just slip into depression. So we must be careful the extent to which you practice the sadness, the extent to which you entertain that season of that melancholy season, that kind of a thing. Yes.
Okay. So feelings fall into two major categories, right?
Okay.
The emotions and the mood. Emotions are short-lived, and the mood
is short-lived.
Is short-lived. Yes. Yeah. So you can be sad now, you can be happy.
Yes.
So those are short-lived. You can move out of that. So, but when you dwell more on that emotions, then it becomes a mood and becomes prolonged.
When you dwell more on your emotions, it becomes a mood.
It becomes a mood.
Yes.
And so from that mood, then you gravitate towards depression. So
yes.
How do we nap that place from moving from emotions into mood? Like you're still sad, you're still not feeling on top of the world, you have loss of interest in life, in your activities.
Yes.
How do you nap that season that you don't quickly, because it's a very thin line, between sadness, worry, and then depression. So
yes.
How do we nap that place so it doesn't lead into depression?
Yeah, I think to get to that particular point where you can come out of that, that tiny line, you must also note what are the triggers of this depression. I mean, that's the basic thing there. What are the triggers? What are the things that triggers the depression? And then what are the things that enhances that mood to prolong the mood? You understand? So over time, from my relationship with people, counseling, and of course from what we have seen all over experiences like that, one of the major thing is unrealistic expectations. You understand? People have unrealistic expectations of life, unrealistic expectations of people, and sometimes unrealistic expectation of themselves. Now, when those unrealistic expectations now, happens in such a way that, it's negative, then the emotion setting. Then when the emotion setting, then it gravitates towards that mood there. So the first thing is, what are the unrealistic expectations
I have of myself?
I have of myself. Unrealistic expectation I have of people. Sometimes the wife can be depressed because unrealistic expectation she has of her husband or of marriage. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the first thing is, what are the unrealistic expectations? And the things going around internet can be a major trigger.
Yeah.
For example, imagine I heard somewhere someone said that, if you don't live on the highland, she cannot go out with you.
Wow.
That is ridiculous.
Extremely ridiculous. Right?
Were you born on the island? That's that. And some people say that, if the guy doesn't have iOS, I cannot date the guy. My sister, you are welcome to a life of perpetual, disappointment.
Yeah.
Because eventually you might see a person that really loves you genuinely, just because the person does not like, because the person does not like, does not have Android, you understand, or does not have iOS rather, and all of a sudden you said the person is not a good potential. You understand? So unrealistic expectation from internet. Most of the things that you see on internet are fake.
They are just acted. They are scripted. They are scripted. Yes.
I think people should understand that 80%, if not 85% of the things that you see on internet are scripted.
Are for grams.
They are for grams.
They are for
people
grams.
live fake. Like I've seen people, go, borrow cars and to come to church on Sunday.
Wow.
I mean, that's true.
Wow.
Yes, people. There are places in this Lagos where you can just drive in, you can just walk in rather on a Saturday, pay them a certain amount of money, get one of the latest cars around, and drive to church on Sunday.
Wow.
You understand? Or drive to an event,
Wow.
and only for you to see your schoolmate driving a particular car, then you just enter into a state of depression, thinking that he owns the car.
Meanwhile, he
doesn't
counts.
own a scooter.
Wow.
So unrealistic expectation, and out of that unrealistic expectation, we also have what I call circle of association. You see, another point on the unrealistic expectation is what I call circle of friends. There are certain people you just don't have business relating with them. No matter how far you have grown up together, you understand. I usually tell people, there are people in your life for a reason, and there are people in your life for a season.
Absolutely.
And you must be able to understand when people's season are over in your life, the ability to be able to leave them or say no.
That's a strong one.
Yes, because I've seen people enter into depression just because they have a particular friend that has certain things. Then they are thinking about the fact that why didn't they have the same thing? Number one, it might be because the person has a particular platform, a particular privilege, a particular advantage that you don't even have.
Yeah.
So your circle of association also matters. One of the ways to get out of depression is leave the associations that triggers the depression.
Leave the association that
triggers the depression. If someone is spending your salary in one night, my brother, you will enter into a state of depression.
You're in the wrong association. Yeah.
So if you're making 500,000 naira in a month, that is working 9 to 5, 25 days in a month, and then you visit a friend that spent that same 500,000 and more on a drink in one sitting, my sister, you will go into depression. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you see someone who's travel out of the country almost every two days, you understand? I have never been to the airport before. And those trips are as a result of certain, things that you are not proud of. You will go into depression. So depression is real, but understand the trigger of the depression.
Understand the trigger of the depression.
Understand the trigger of the
Very
depression.
important.
So when you are entering into that state where it's now not sadness anymore, it is gone into mood, and from mood to depression, you quickly notice that it is this particular person It is this particular situation that sent me into depression.
So you quickly
You
catch yourself.
You catch yourself.
You catch yourself.
Did you get what I'm saying here? You catch yourself. Then another point is what I call, what I call over-exaggerated situations. Over-exaggerated situations. My brother, my sister, you are not the only one in this economy.
Yeah. We are all in it together.
You are not the only one in this economy. Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Nigeria is showing all of us shady.
It's showing everybody. The continent is showing everybody.
Yeah.
The world is showing everybody.
Yeah, it's now your perspective.
That was the situation of Elijah. 1 Kings chapter 19. Do you know Elijah was depressed?
Wow.
I'm telling you. Prophet Elijah.
Yeah.
Totally depressed.
Yes, that's true.
Look at what he said in 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 3. He said, when he saw, he ran for it. That was when Jezebel told him that by tomorrow I will send you.
Your head is gone.
Your head is gone. Scripture says that he ran for his life and went to Bathsheba, which belongs to Judah, and left his servant there. He went a day's journey into the wilderness and sat down under a broom tree. Look at what he said. He said he prayed that he might die.
Wow.
So he was not only depressed, he was suicidal.
Wow. He
was suicidal. Elijah was suicidal. And what was it? It was over-exaggerated situation.
I mean, for someone that
killed... You just killed
400 people, and then this is just one woman.
You couldn't even wait to celebrate.
Wow.
In fact, your depression sometimes comes immediately after your victories. Because you refuse to celebrate the victory.
So when you don't celebrate a victory,
your focus moves to some other person.
Can come in.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
People don't celebrate their victories. The fact that you just got a job, celebrate the fact that you just got a job. Forget about the person jumping from one nation to the other. Celebrate the fact that you just made a progress.
A progress.
He just made a fantastic progress. But someone said a word to him. Powerful man of God.
Wow.
So the situation is not as bad as that. The nation is showing everybody, the country is showing everybody.
But people are still prospering,
Exactly. Because depression has a way of making you change your perspective. It focuses you on what is not working. Takes away your focus from what is working in your life.
Wow.
Now, the point is, there are things working in your life.
Of course. It can't be that bad.
So let me give you an exercise.
There's nothing
For example, sit down now. Count 10 things that are not working in your life. You will discover that your hands are very swift to write them down. The same way, count 10 things that are working in your life.
Wow.
You will discover that your hands are so slow because your brain cannot just accept that certain things are working.
Let me just abrupt you a little bit.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about, gratitude, that's a powerful tool. And that's what I use in one of my sessions for people that are hopeless,
Yeah.
I tell them, write 10 things that you're grateful for.
Wow,
and
fantastic.
They tell me, no, there's nothing good about my life. I can't even write 10 things. I say, okay, let me write 5. I will insist. Write 10 things. And the shocking thing, Pastor?
Yes.
They come back after a week and some of them even have 15 things
wow.
that they're grateful for.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Because depression just has a way of taking your eyes off the things that are working in your life.
Yeah.
Elijah ran for his life. Meanwhile, things were working. You understand? So it is that over-exaggerated situation. Life happens to everybody.
Absolutely.
Don't ever over-exaggerate what is happening to you. What is happening to you is what is happening to another person.
But the way they react is different.
He said, I have other people I have reserved that will not bow. That will not bow. So you can't just come and say that you are the only one going through this pain. You are not the only single sister trusting God for a good brother.
Absolutely. Yeah,
you are not the only person trusting God for a job.
I agree.
You are not the only person who wants to buy a car before the year runs up.
Yeah.
You are not the only person on a project and the funds are delaying. You are not the only person. Take a pause. Write down 10 things that are working.
Wow.
Forget about the things that are not working. Rejoice over the things that are working. You understand? So it's very important to understand that these are the little foxes that spring up depression in people's life. You understand?
Yes,
then the
sir.
third point that I would not, deny is what I call demonic influences.
And
understand?
Nigerians like to capitalize a lot on that.
Yeah, so that's the point. Nigerians like demons.
Well,
I'm telling you, Nigerians like demons. I'm telling you.
Wow.
And you know the funny thing? Demons like camera. I'm telling you, demons like Nigerians.
That's a new.
I'm telling you, Nigerians just like to believe that everything going wrong in their life
is demonized.
It's the work of demons.
It's the work of demons.
I mean, I can imagine one day that the devil will say that, Pastor, that particular issue, I know nothing about it. Because everything is just demon. So people focus more on that. But the truth is, depression sometimes can be a work of demonic manipulation. But it's not usually all the times. Sometimes it's just what you need to do about yourself. For example, there is a young lady that I know, depressed that she has not gotten married.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Totally depressed. Our sisters have gotten married, our brothers gotten married, our friends. I mean, she's been a professional what's the name of this thing? Maid of honor. Maid of honor. Professional, because I mean, if you have done up to 5'10", you're not a professional.
You're well in the game.
So now she was depressed. And until we met, then I now began to tell her that why? I've not gotten married. Then I told her that you're on the big side. It's not bad to be on the big side, but your own is extra big. And there are only few percentage of guys that will probably want to, a woman of because she gave me an example size. That, when people come, they say that you are big. So people have been telling you that you're on the big side. What are you doing about it? Consciously, what are you doing concerning your health? Then she started, taking those counsels, and she started, working on herself. And today she's happily in a relationship. Wow. Why? Because she worked on herself. Meanwhile, she was telling me that, she's the only person in the family that is not married is because of one auntie somewhere. There is no auntie somewhere. You just need to work on yourself. So we have demonic influences, and it is demonic influences definitely, we can
cast it out.
My God, cast it out. We can just cast that out. Right. And even as much as we do that, you will still need some level of counseling. Even after that, you still need some level of counseling and say, okay, now that we have prayed for you, we have ended that manipulation of the devil. What are the things that you begin, to do from now? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so very much. So in wrapping up today's episode, so if you're out there and let's say you're still sad, you've not even got into the state of depression, or you're even depressed currently. So, Pastor, what word can you leave with us for somebody that is already actively there? The person is already depressed. What one word can you say to that person?
I've said it. Number one is depression has a formula. The formula is to change your focus from what is working to what is not working.
Change your focus from what is working to what is not working.
That's what depression does. So what you now need to do is intentionally list the things that are working.
Okay.
And enter into the state of joy. It's a very challenging thing. I understand. But when you enter into a state of joy, you release certain possibilities within your human spirit that begins to attract good things. And that's why whatever you focus on magnifies. So if you focus on good things happening in your life, before you know it, every other area begin to experience the same good thing.
Thank you so much, Pastor, for today. Thank you so much. So to overcome sadness, to overcome depression, we have learned from Pastor that gratitude is very, very important. And you need to focus on the things that are working in your life against the things that are not working in your life. So this week, this month, guys, I don't want you to be depressed. If you're sad, we can overcome this thing. Things are happening. Everything cannot be bad in your life. Trust me. You just need to sit down and take a pen and begin to list the things that are working. And I know that you're going to come out victorious at the end of the day. Thank you so much. Until I see you again on Ask Me, have a good day.